Welcome, everybody, to a special episode of the Popcorn Watchlist podcast, where we discuss and celebrate our favorites in TV and film. I am your host, Xavier, and we are doing our first remote session of 2024. God, that's wild saying 2024. But what better way to kick off our first remote session of 2024 than to do our top 10 recap of 2023? So, once again, I am joined by my fellow Popcorn Watchlist panelists, remote via not satellite, but in their own respective workspaces. I'm once again joined by Danny, Anthony, and Zach.
What's up?
Say hello, gentlemen.
Hello. What's up? How's it going?
Hello.
How excited are you guys to share with everybody your favorites of 2023?
I think this will be pretty fun. I'm excited to share. I'm sure a lot of us have a lot of the same films.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there might be a couple that are sprinkled in there that'll be a little bit different.
Couple surprises, I'm sure.
It'll be a fun talking point.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to see obviously what we share, but also the differences. We all had different times where we saw maybe different films, and they may have snuck into our top 10. We're also going to briefly mention honorable mentions. We'll bring that up. So, to give a little rundown, we're going to have each of us go through from ranking 10 to 4. We'll talk about our honorable mentions, and then we'll cap it off with our top 3. So, without further ado, I'm actually going to throw it over to Zach to start us off.
Cool.
Yeah. All right, so this is going to be pretty straightforward. Honestly, I think my list, since I probably the one that watched the least amount of movies between all of us, I think everyone's going to have all of these movies on their list. So, in no particular order, I kind of just group these together in genre, kind of. Some of them are just one movie, some of them are 2 or 3, so it really depends. But I'm going to start off with The Creator.
Ooh.
The Creator just made it into my top 10. The visuals, fantastic. The story's pretty solid. Nothing too crazy. It's not anything totally groundbreaking or anything like that. But it is still a pretty interesting story with the plot with the child and everything and the AI. It's really cool, stunning visually. The film was shot on a Sony DSLR, which is pretty cool, and it looks like it was shot on professional cinema cameras. Just a really cool movie. I think it came out in the later half of the year, right? So
September.
It's one of the more recent ones, and definitely one of those that I think we can all recommend it pretty strongly. That go watch it, especially for the visuals.
Yeah, it was very cool.
Directed by I'm forgetting his name now. He directed Rogue One.
Gareth Edwards.
Gareth Edwards. Yes, a pretty solid film. I enjoyed it a lot.
We did a podcast on that one, right?
We
did an episode on it.
Nice.
Fun fact: it is nominated for Best Visual Effects for this round of the Oscars. So that tells
I think it has a pretty good chance of winning. It's up against Godzilla -1 and
it's up against Guardians.
And Guardians.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that'll be tough.
It's gonna be tough. We'll go from there. All right, hit us to the next one, Zach.
All right, the next one is John Wick Chapter 4.
Nice.
Really kick-ass movie. Not gonna lie. I mean, all the John Wick movies are kick-ass movies, but this one was just like the rest of them. It's just as great as all the ones that we've had before. I think it sat a little bit lower on my ranking of the 4 films, but it is still really close to everything else. It's such a great fun and it's so good. It's a great movie. And then my next one is going to be Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning.
Part 1.
Man.
Now, part 1. Well,
even though they removed it,
no more. It's
for
not
now.
part 1.
They removed it
for now.
It's part 1 for now.
Next year will be Live I Repeat. So.
Reckoning Dead.
Now, this one was probably of the more recent Mission Impossible movies to be it's a great movie, a great Mission Impossible movie, but I still hold a couple of other ones to a much higher regard. But it's still a great movie. I like the addition of Haley Atwell in the movie. She was pretty good in it. And then having
Let the record show
yeah,
that
go ahead.
Haley Atwell in anything will always make it better.
absolutely.
Is she the ludicrous of movies?
Or is Ludacris the ludicrous of movies?
No, he's not.
And then who was the villain in this one again?
AI.
It's AI and the guy from season 1 of Ozark.
Yes.
He's like-
that guy.
Yes. Like, yes.
Never seen
that-
Ozark, so I forgot what he looks like already. And then next I have so now I have like video game movies
Oh.
in the
Plural.
next chunk here. So I'm gonna put this is a tough one because again it's no order, but the way I have it written down here, I put Tetris as my next one.
My man, good job. I like that.
Tetris, it's an Apple TV Plus movie. That one stars Mr. How is it?
Edgerton.
Edgerton.
But no, it's
Edgerton.
Tehran and Jerrytown.
Tehran and Jerrytown.
I mean,
Huh?
no, I was gonna say I mean Elton John.
Elton John.
Yeah.
Now he the first thing I ever saw him in was in Kingsman. Fun movie, great, hilarious, wacky action, and then his career just kind of took off from there because he did a bunch of stuff, ever since then. And Tetris was a more low key one, but it was still really well made. Some of the visuals with like some of the Tetris graphics looked really cool, and it was pretty suspenseful too for what was going on since it took place during like the Cold War era, and the not the creator of Tetris, but the businessman who wanted to invest in it, traveling to and from the Soviet Union during that time. It was very sketchy to do that, but it's really, really cool, fun movie. Those guys are still alive today. They still, they're still doing their thing.
They still run the Tetris company, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought they sold it, if
They
I'm
sold
not
it?
I but I don't remember. But I mean, I'm sure they have involvement. Actually, recently there was a kid, like a 13-year-old kid. He won Tetris.
What?
In a sense. And
How do you do that?
there was a video where the kid was on the news, and he met the Russian guy, the guy that created Tetris, and the American business guy that funded it and brought it to the West and everything.
So he
which was
met
pretty cool for
Alexei
him.
Pajitnov and Hank Rogers. That's cool.
Yes, Alexei. It was him. Yeah, the kid met both guys live on the news. I think I sent you guys that video before, but that was really cool.
I think I saw the video. It's like he reached a score like 9999999. Like it crashed.
Well, no,
the game crashes
that wasn't
once
that.
Oh.
No, it doesn't crash with the score. It crashes with a number of levels, and the game can only handle so
Go
much because
so
of
much,
the limited
yeah.
memory.
Yeah.
And then he got the true kill screen, which is in that moment when the game just cannot function anymore, which was
That's crazy.
Pretty cool.
insane to think that
Just what I want.
Tetris has an end to it.
Yep.
But yeah, really, really cool movie. I definitely recommend watching that one if you're into like retro video games. And the next one is Super Mario Bros.
Yes,
that one,
sir.
We had
I think we all can agree that
Yes, sir.
that it was probably better than expected. It was a lot of fun. They kept it simple. They didn't go too crazy with it. There were parts that it seemed a little rushed, I'll be honest, but it was still very enjoyable. The animation looked fantastic, and I hope that in the future when Nintendo continues to make more movies, that they keep it there in that same quality, really. Of course, making sure that the story is a solid story for whatever movie they make, whether it be, I don't know, like an animated Pokemon movie or an animated, I don't know, a Metroid movie or Donkey Kong or something, which is planned apparently. Keeping it in that same vein of quality, I think they can make another $1 billion movie if they wanted to, easily.
just cut out all the licensed music and use the music from the games.
Yes,
Oh my
no more. I need a
God,
hero, or
Well-
holding out for a hero. We don't need any
Well-
more.
Or how
That
about Take
song
On
was
Me
in the-
during the Donkey Kong scene? Made no sense. I love
Holding
Take
out
On
for
Me.
a hero was on both that you just mentioned, Tetris and Super Mario Bros.
Nice.
That
That
chase
was the
scene,
year.
yeah.
2023 was the year for that song.
It was the year that artist. She made a lot of money that year. A lot of royalties.
Bonnie Tyler. Good job, Bonnie Tyler.
So did Beastie Boys.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, really, really great movie, and I'm looking forward to see what they do next, especially with the teased sequel introducing Yoshi. Hopefully, that'll be really nice. All right, and then the next and final video game movie that I put on my list is Gran Turismo.
Nice.
So of course
40X?
I had to. Yeah, oh,
That was
dude,
by far.
40X.
That was by far that was a really good experience.
That was actually a lot of fun.
You guys saw it in 4DX? That's right.
Yes.
I didn't get to see it in 4DX.
Oh, I thought you were there.
People's
No.
popcorn.
Definitely
Yeah, it
was not
me.
there.
It was me,
Popcorn was flying around
Anthony.
everywhere.
Who was it? It was you, Anthony, X Isis,
Yes,
right? And then,
she was
and then our
flying
cousin.
out of her seat.
The greatest thing.
That was hilarious.
So one thing I'll mention. I don't want to steal a little bit of Zach's thunder, but even with the movie having been out for maybe about like a week or so, people were watching it in 40X, and all the story beats just hit perfectly. Like everybody was hella bought into the movie. All the points where you wanted a crowd reaction, you got a crowd reaction.
Yeah,
That was so
the audience.
surprising.
The audience reaction was a lot more than I would have expected for a movie. I mean, like not a lot of people are like into racing exactly. Like people are, yeah, they have their sports like basketball, football. I'm sure if it were a movie about that, then yeah, you're gonna get maybe like more reaction out of it. But for a racing movie, I was really surprised because like Miami, Florida, or the United States isn't really it's not a racing culture. We have our car cultures, but we don't really have a racing culture.
NASCAR.
But well, maybe yeah. I mean, there's NASCAR, but this is not NASCAR. This is like, this is like real racing. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say
No
that.
offense to any NASCAR fans, but it is
It's
more grown up racing. Let's just say that.
skill set for this racing. 'Cause, like,
Yeah, there
NASCAR
are
racing's,
right turns.
endurance. NASCAR racing is like endurance racing and all that stuff. But this is more like
Because NASCAR races can be like 4 or 5 hours, whereas like sport car racing can be like an hour and a half probably,
yeah.
or average
Way
maybe
more
like an hour.
Yeah,
But
way more
depending on what series you're in, but it's still like we're not in that culture. Like the United States is not in that culture of like that kind of racing, of sports car racing. But I was just really surprised by the reaction of like when the main character Jan would win something, or like when he kissed the girl, and everyone was like ooh, 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 and clapping and all this stuff.
your
Which was
boy. Yeah.
pretty cool. And then I think even clapping at the end too, because I mean, everyone I think thoroughly enjoyed the movie.
Yeah,
Is it still on Netflix?
I believe so. Yeah,
I wouldn't doubt it. I haven't been.
I was just watching The
I'm
Brother's
sure.
Son, and yeah, Gran Turismo I think is still there. At least as of this recording.
And I think of all the video game movies, that one, I think I liked Super Mario Brothers so much, but I also liked this one a lot. Like I like Tetris, but I think these two are kind of above that, so that's why I put them above. But again, this is all just kind of mixed in. And then so that was a really great movie, really fun experience, especially the 4DX, like we mentioned. Like it was my second time watching it when I saw it in 4DX, and kind of like how with Top Gun Maverick, you go to watch it in 4DX, it ruins the experience. This movie kind of did the same thing. Like it ruins it in a good way, because you can't watch any other movie and expecting the 4DX like experience to be as good as Top Gun or a racing movie. It was
It's true.
It was awesome. It was a lot of fun. And then the last movie before my top 3, I was kind of debating, but I think I picked a good one for this one. Guardians of the Galaxy 3
Nice.
is my number 4. And this one does feel a lot different from the first 2 Guardians movie, which does kind of make me think of the movie a little bit differently compared to those first 2. But this one had a lot more like heart to it, especially with the whole Rocket Raccoon backstory that we got sprinkled in throughout the movie, which was one thing that, I mean, we did expect it because James Gunn had teased it for a while, like, oh yeah, we're gonna get more backstory for this character, and did a really good job with how they like fleshed it out.
Yeah,
And
we have a whole episode on that one too. So if you want to go back and see what we thought about it collectively, circle back to a few episodes. I don't know. I thought Danny would have the number by now, but nah. You'll go through it. It'll be titled Guardians 3.
And then another thing that I felt really weird about this movie was that It wasn't as memorable. I will be honest. It wasn't as memorable as the first two. I think the first one is by far the most memorable. And then the second one also had a lot of great memorable moments. And this one, I don't know what it is lately. Like me, when I watch movies, I tend to forget things.
It's called getting old, Zach. Welcome.
Like I have a pretty good memory, and lately I've just been like I'll watch a movie and then I'll forget like a majority, or not a majority of the movie. I'll forget like maybe 40% of the movie.
Is your back hurting?
And then a little bit.
Oh no!
It legitimately does.
Oh boy!
Oh, it's happening.
It's still a bit too early
where it
for
starts.
you. It's too early for you.
Way too early.
God, I didn't think 26 was going to be such an old age for me. Oh.
26 to new 46.
But yeah, I can't remember a lot about the movie, but I did remember enjoying it a lot, and still again feeling like it was a much different and I think more mature movie compared to the other Guardians movies. Weirdly enough, I don't know if that's the right thing to say. I mean, I don't know if you guys agree that it was a bit more of a mature movie, even though it had hilarious moments also.
Yeah, it still
Especially
had a lot
with
of
Drax.
immature moments, but yeah, it was more of a, I guess, like heavy subject
Send off.
material. Yeah. And very emotional.
Yeah, like very heavy, very very emotional, like some darker stuff.
I mean,
in
and
there.
that's not saying that. Yeah, I'm not saying like part 2, for example, didn't have any heavy stuff. Like a lot of the Gamora Nebula stuff, the whole stuff with Peter and his dad, and Yondu, obviously. Like, again, tying into all of that. Baby Groot is silly, but also like, hey, how is this person different from the other group before? The whole Ravagers thing, like, yeah, like there's some slightly heavier stuff, but then there's also again silly things too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. But yeah, that's my first 7. And then I have some honorable mentions that I enjoyed it. I enjoyed these movies, but we're just a little bit off of the top 10.
Well, we're gonna go through we're gonna go through everyone else's top 7, and then we'll do the.
I thought it was gonna be that, and then we hold off.
The kid's
rest.
going
Okay,
off
yeah.
script. He's going
So
off
I guess-
script.
Little
that's cool.
little outtake
He's excited.
there.
Oh, he's
but I
excited.
guess-
No, he's excited. Leave it in there. We're live. Do it.
There's too many good movies because I completely forgot about Guardians, and that's not even on my top.
You forgot
10.
about Guardians?
Yes.
Like, I'll be honest. When I was going through the movies that came out last year, like the ones that stood out, I'm like, man, this movie came out last year.
Yeah.
Because some of them I thought came out the year before, like late the year before. I'm like, no, it came out 2023.
Yeah. Last year was pretty crazy. So, I guess it's my turn in the age bracket.
Oh yeah,
thing.
yeah. We're going up by age. Good job, Danny. Yep, you're next.
Oh, jeez.
Anthony needs to.
All right. So, we'll go a little bit quicker now, just because Zach pretty much went through most of the movies, and most of his are probably in all of our top 10s. So, starting off with number 10 for me will be John Wick, Chapter 4.
Nice.
And man, just nonstop action, literally beautiful, like scenery, like different locations. Just, I don't know, man. Each movie gets more intense. It was a lot of fun. I think we all saw this one together.
It's almost
Especially
3
since
hours.
we had. Yeah, it's a long movie too.
But it's
It
glorious
doesn't
action.
matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
How long was it again? Like
It was 2 hours and
2.5
45. 2 hours,
Yeah.
45 minutes.
Great. It was wonderful.
I could have watched it for like 10 hours. It was
Seriously.
awesome. Apparently, they filmed, I think, like a 6-hour movie or like a 5.5 hour
God.
movie, and they had
my
they had
God.
to shrink it to 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Agree.
So yeah, apparently there was a lot more backstory to other characters.
We need a petition for the director's cut.
The
Stahelski
Stahelski cut.
Just the rest of the 4 hours is literally in the club scene with the music in the background.
And all the water.
Yeah.
No, it's actually the stair scene.
He keeps just rolling.
He just keeps going back to the top.
I'm sure
and
people have
rolling
done
back
that on
down.
YouTube. They have a 10-hour
10-hour cut.
Every time he gets to the top, there's a mini boss, and then he just gets knocked back down.
Classic.
Fight another mini boss.
All right. So after that one, I think this one you chose it after John Wick 2, or it was right after, but it's
Wait,
impossible.
Danny,
Yeah.
before you go, there is a 10-hour cut of him playing.
Oh yes.
On YouTube?
We'll watch it
Yeah.
later.
Okay. Cool, we'll watch it.
Okay. You do that. Do that. Okay.
Damn. People are awesome on YouTube.
God bless the internet. All right, so you were saying Dead Reckoning, right?
Yep, Dead Reckoning Part 1. Man, Tom Cruise just makes fun movies. And really gives the movie theater experience. Especially after like Top Gun. And this one was just a lot of fun, a lot of action, cool moments. Him running, you know?
And it's proper like sprinting form.
Yeah, booking it.
Propelling forward, has a proper stride, using arms for propulsion. Dude, the guy's in it. He knows what's up.
Yep, different camera angles, get everything.
Kind of how to.
And then the rest of the cast was pretty awesome. So, like you mentioned, Haley Atwell. She was a great addition.
Rebecca Ferguson.
Rebecca Ferguson coming back.
Vanessa Kirby still being awesome.
Yep. The original
having to do
squad too. So
She had Simon Pegg, Ving Rhames. It's cool because like Vanessa Kirby has to do like double duty because that one sequence towards the end, that was pretty cool.
yeah,
So, yeah, man, it's great.
and
She
great
is-
action sequences. That big action stunt done at the end. That was all leading up to it since we had seen it so many times in trailers and stuff like that.
Even
Uncharted
trailers, it was like a little sneak peek of how they did the stunt and everything.
That
they would
too,
play
like-
before like an IMAX showing. If you went to watch any IMAX,
They were hyping that moment for
Oh yeah,
months.
The thing is, like, that moment happens, and then there's still like another 30 or 40 minutes left in the movie. Because then it's like a long action sequence on the train. So it's
Yep.
it's
not just the base jump from the mountain. It's
Right.
Like, oh man, we also
then
got
he has to
to
parachute down on a train.
It's too good. Yeah,
Yep.
really entertaining.
I
All
can't wait to
right.
see what they do in the next one.
Yep.
See,
Like, how do you
Stunt
top
they're
it?
gonna top.
Top Gun.
Well, I feel like it was kind of like
Peace.
I think that stunt was kind of like they backed off a little bit compared to like the skydiving scene or like the Burj Khalifa scene. I feel like those were probably more like high stakes ones.
And even
in
the
the
one
movie they're high stakes, but practically that was the most dangerous thing. It's just, hey, Tom Cruise, just strap you on a motorcycle and just chuck it.
was it though?
Yeah.
Because I think he was like barely on wires when he was in Ghost Protocol when he was like outside the building.
On the
Like, yeah, he could have easily just like fallen.
He
If,
was
like,
on a few. There was more. I remember it being more secure than it looked. Same thing with the airplane taking off.
Oh, he was.
That's
strapped
also
in.
pretty
Yeah.
crazy though. I mean,
Yeah,
he
it's
still had
not
to
a
hold
hand.
on. He still had to hold on.
And
you still have to do like some sort of stunt work.
It's like
you
it doesn't
know?
matter what cables are there. Like you have to hold on. Like in Fallout,
Like,
Like,
the
make it look
whole
convincing.
the whole scene of him like on that
Right.
net with the helicopter.
Oh, that one too is nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
That was not a-
Oh yeah, that was in Fallout.
Yeah,
All right.
he learned how to fly a helicopter
I mean, just casual things for
Yeah.
Tom Cruise.
like you do. You spend a couple months learning how to do that.
So now is when we get through some of the ones that Zach hasn't mentioned.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I know.
So-
I know.
Serious.
This is all right. So this is number 8. So number 8, we have. I think X saw this one. The Iron Claw.
Nice. I have
Very
not
nice.
seen it yet.
Yeah.
Very nicely done.
There.
I actually didn't know much about this family, or actually anything about this family, to be honest. And I'm glad I didn't look anything up because this movie is wild. You definitely get to see ups and downs of the family, and you got Zac Efron, Jeremy Allen, just shredded in this movie.
They're both like massive.
Yeah, and the rest of the cast, but mainly those two. They're just, I don't know, man. They got the ultimate Marvel workout times 2.
Dude, I think another shout out has to go to Holt McCallany, who plays the father Fritz on Eric.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah,
dude put
the
in
dad was and he had some cool moments in the beginning too. That goes to show. But yeah, very sad movie. Had some emotional moments towards the end, and definitely a good based on a true story. So
yeah, absolutely. Good pick, Danny. Good pick.
Yep.
Keep it up. Let's see what we got.
And then number 7, we have Past Lives.
Nice.
So
Another one I haven't seen.
I think that's the
Also,
only.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I think I'm the only one who has seen that one.
It's coming back to theaters, so I'll be able to catch it.
Yeah, thankfully. Jeez.
Yeah.
You
So.
can rent it right now. You can only rent it.
Mm-hmm. I think they're playing it all next week and maybe the week after with the whole Oscars movies coming back.
They actually are. I'm looking at it now.
But this was a pretty emotional movie. I think I'd mentioned it on a couple episodes before. But I don't know. It felt very grounded and real. Just very solid story. And number 5, we have Gran Turismo.
Cool.
So, like Zach
mine is
said,
number 5 too.
like Zach said, I don't know, had a bunch of great racing scenes, being able to see the crowd reaction to it. I had seen it a couple times after we saw it in the movie theater. Like I saw it on Netflix. And so, hold on.
It's really good.
I was trying not to laugh.
That was my dog. But
Shout out to special guest.
Don't make
star
her bark.
Lily.
yeah, but Gran Turismo was awesome. If you're a fan of car racing movies, definitely check it out. You have a great cast, good VFX sequences, part of the game coming through, and
Oh, it's done well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Well.
that was one thing that I also didn't mention too. Those parts where it would show Yan sitting in the simulator and then the visual
breaking
effects
out.
kind of transitioning into a car. I
Yeah.
think that those were pretty sick.
And then also
Really,
you have
really well done.
the racing line throughout the track, seeing which line he's gonna take, and just
Like how
some of the
he-
sound effects.
How he visualizes it
Mm-hmm.
and the acting. David Harbour was great. Orlando
David
Bloom
Harbour was a great one.
David Harbour really came through with that one, and I think it's one of those where I would like for him to at least know that he did the job right, where everybody really connected with his character and how he mentors Jan through the story arc really well. It's well written and also well acted.
And don't forget, you have some nice jazz music.
From Kenny G.
Hey,
Kenny
and
G.
some world music.
True.
Hey, you can't go wrong with Enya. That's all I'm going to say. Can't go wrong with Enya. All right, Danny, hit us with the next one.
All right, next one is going to be a shock on this list here for you guys.
Fuck.
My number 4 is Oppenheimer.
Nice.
That is a shocker because
Shocker.
that should be higher.
Yeah.
Should it be?
But now I'm kind
Actually,
of surprised and curious what your top 3 would be.
So if you inserted Guardians into your list, where would it have gone?
I don't know.
Thanks.
I'd have to redo this whole thing.
Just do it all.
Maybe somewhere between Mission Impossible and John Wick. Maybe.
Okay.
8 and 9. And
Yes.
I apologize. I think I was one number off this whole time. Because Iron Claw was 8, Past Lives was 7, Gran Turismo was 6, not 5. Oppenheimer is 5.
Oh, even
Wow.
lower.
Yeah. So
As like it's an 80s movie.
the thing is, my 1 through 5 are so close that it's I've just, this whole day I've been going putting one above the other and then kind of like dropping it. But the reason why I think Oppenheimer for me is number 5 is because I've only seen it once.
Rookie numbers. You got to pump those numbers up.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I saw it 3 times. 3 in true IMAX. Come on.
He's
Come
doing it
on.
like this too.
3.
Are you sure? Are you sure it
Can't
wasn't more
see
than
him.
3? I feel like you went like every weekend.
I saw it a lot too.
I basically did.
I saw it twice.
I feel like you got to like Top Gun numbers with this movie.
I spent 3 hours. I got 3 hours. 3 hours of playtime.
His bones on the ground. That despair.
I mean, Oppenheimer was fantastic. Christopher Nolan killed it. I mean, this movie got nominated for everything in
Has
the Oscars.
13 nominations.
Yeah.
More than
13.
Return of the King. More than Return of the King.
Oh my god!
So if
that's the same number of nominations as Titanic.
I know. And
Wow.
Return of the
Oh.
King won all of them.
11 out of 11.
Yeah. So if Oppenheimer,
They're the only
Tweaks.
film. Return of the King is the only film to have 11 nominations and 11 wins like that.
right?
It was
So if
perfect.
Oppenheimer
Yeah.
sweeps.
It was a perfect
then
run,
Oppenheimer will
and
be
the
the
most.
champion.
Well, it deserves.
I don't feel like it's gonna get even close to like. I feel like it might win like 6, if I had to guess.
It won't win actress in the supporting role.
Yes.
Actress. Yeah, you're right.
It won't win actress. It
You're
won't
right.
win actress. But,
Who was actor? Robert Downey Jr.
no,
Yeah.
best actor in supporting role is Robert Downey, RDJ, and he's gonna
Yeah.
win that one. That's for sure.
That's in supporting, yeah, which
Yeah.
And
he
supporting, yeah,
he
yeah.
did great. I mean, the whole cast I feel did great. Cillian Murphy, Robert Downey Jr., Emily Blunt.
Yeah. We have a whole episode on it. You can listen
Yeah.
to that one too.
Just watch our episode, and then the next one after that, number 4, is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Everyone's like, "What?"
What is wrong with you?
I respect it, honestly. I respect it. But I know what his top. I know a lot of his. One of his top.
I know
is,
what
and I'm
2 of
surprised-
your top 3 are now.
And I'm surprised they're above Oppenheimer. But hey,
Oof.
I
all
So,
for
a
it.
feeling
I
for.
I think Oppenheimer will go up higher in the list. Obviously, when we like, if I were to go through this again over some time and after I see the movie again. But yeah, that's,
Well, it did
that's where
come
it is
back to
right
the-
now.
It did re-release in the 70mm a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
Yep.
So you had a chance.
You have another chance to go to.
I'll get to it.
again,
But yeah, so the next one is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Sweet.
I'm sure it's in all of ours list
It was
somewhere.
garbage. It was garbage.
definitely somewhere. We had an episode on that one too. So that one's awesome. It's too good.
The animation is just
Top notch.
awesome. Like every
How can it be
frame
that
is a
good?
photo, literally. Like you could frame it up.
I mean, technically, every frame is a photo.
I thought you were gonna say
Any movie,
every frame is a frame.
No, but I mean, like, you know, like
that's how movies work, Danny.
you would want to frame that up, you know.
Oh yeah,
So
it looks too damn good.
the score, and also the score in Oppenheimer, scores were good, and the story, Miles was great. The whole family dynamic, and then obviously all the multiverse characters, all the Easter eggs. It was just a fun time. Oscar Isaac, fantastic. But yeah, that's my 10
Top
through
7.
4. Shocking.
Top 7.
Shocking. Yeah.
Shocking
that's-
is
I
a
mean, I don't know
word.
about. I don't know
It's not
about shocking. You know what?
shocking.
Remember, this is a list of our like personal favorites. Like
Yeah, it
things
doesn't really
that,
matter.
Like what we enjoyed. Like not so much like critical acclaim. We're gonna put on our. I have my glasses on
Yeah.
today, but it's not like I have the snooty, like film critic lenses on. So
But yeah, that brings up a good point, because yeah, this is more based off enjoyment, not really like best movie to me.
False.
Because I think Oppenheimer is higher than some of the ones that I have above it in terms of like better movie. But in terms of enjoyment, I did like these more than Oppenheimer. So
all right,
Okay.
excellent.
I'm interested to hear what your top 3 are now.
Okay.
Nope.
But we'll
And then tell you that
we'll
you're
get
wrong.
back.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
right.
So next is me. I'm coming up now. I'll do my 10 through 4. This was a little tough to honestly kind of rank because these are all movies I really enjoyed. And some of these we have mentioned before, but I think I have a couple that may be on someone's list, may not be, but they all movies that I like had a really fun time because of just like having a fun time in the theater and whatever it's feelings the wild range of emotions. So going right into it, number 10. It did not expect this movie to be as good as it was, but I gotta give it to Thanksgiving.
Yes.
That movie had
Wait.
like,
What movie was it? What?
It was.
You got to do it again. You have to do it again.
Thanksgiving.
There you go.
All just the fact that for some way, shape, or form, Eli Roth was still able to tell like a coherent slasher film story alongside adding new things to the initial like grindhouse trailer that was there, tweaking some stuff to make it more palatable for a general audience. But the movie's surprisingly well done. It's just the right amount of cheese. It's but also like it's well made, and everybody in the movie knew their roles, knew their assignments. It's not like no one's like leaving too many teeth marks on the scenery, but it's for being a slasher film, it's a lot of fun. And big shout out to Patrick. Yeah, but also big shout out to Patrick Dempsey. Like, dude understood the assignment. It's great. And that one kid, we said my favorite line of the entire movie, where it's, if we're not careful, we're all going to be 50% off. Dude, this is amazing. It's awesome. All right, going down to number 9. This was on Zach's list as well, but I got to give it to Super Mario Brothers. Although the using of licensed music kind of like grinded my gears, so to speak, put it in the wrong way. Everything else was so well done in terms of the way the movie was made, and all the great like Nintendo Easter eggs in like the first like 10 minutes of the movie. I was super giddy.
Yeah.
Like I loved seeing, like I loved the fact that like people like me, Anthony, and even like my sister watching the movie, like, oh look, there's a thing from Punch Out, there's that thing from Star Fox, and like all the little small things to pick around and pay attention. And then, of course, the stellar animation and surprisingly great voice acting. Big shout out to Charlie Day as Luigi. Like, I didn't know if that range of Luigi was going to work, but it did. And then, of course, you got to talk about Bowser.
Jack Black.
And Jack Black. He did an amazing, amazing job. And again, shout out to Chris Pratt for making Mario work, man. He put his spin on it, and it works.
It's a me,
People
Mario.
were very skeptical.
When he just said, it's a me, Mario. And he's like, that's not it.
It's like,
but
no.
it was.
It's like wasn't, but it was. It's great. Yeah, it's still entertaining. Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong works, surprisingly. So if they can get more of that and kind of like tone it the right way, it'll be great for the future.
And he snuck in the Rogan laugh.
That's it. All right. Number 8 is going to another animated movie. So good I had to watch it twice, and this was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Rise of the Mutants.
I thought that would have been higher for you.
Well, when you get to the rest of my list, you'll kind of understand why. But
Yeah, probably.
TMNT really worked. Like the art style really felt unique. We're talking about movies with great art styles. We talked about Spider-Verse earlier. Again, I really enjoyed Ninja Turtles. I think it's now on Paramount Plus. They already greenlit a whole bunch of continuations to it. And if they keep that same style, they keep the heart that each of the brothers have and their personalities, I think they got a great franchise to keep going with that.
Yeah, it was well done. It was a lot better than I thought it would be.
Animation was also pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the cameos are really good.
Paul Rudd.
All right, man.
Yeah, also, Ray Fillet was it? Post Malone, I think, was Ray Fillet. But that and Ice Cube did really great job as the villain, Superfly. But it's a great movie. Go watch it if you haven't. Number 7. I'm surprised it hasn't been on anyone's list yet, but I thoroughly enjoyed this one a lot, and it's big cultural impact. Gotta give it to Barbie. We had a great episode on Barbie. If If you haven't seen it, it is now on HBO Max, so you can watch it from the comfort of your Mojo Dojo Casa house.
Iconic.
Iconic, dude. Iconic. Yeah, we have a whole episode on it, so I really enjoyed it. Great movie.
It was Knuff. Okay.
It was Knuff.
Yes, it was.
And again, also great cameos, but also, surprisingly well made. Really great movie. Slick writing was really smart. It was really good. Going on number 6, we mentioned before, Guardians 3. Guardians 3
Cool.
was a gut punch of many emotions. It wasn't just, we talked about like a lot of the Rocket backstory, and that can be pretty traumatizing and hurtful, but I liked some of the other sequences in the movie too. Especially, you gotta give it to I was gonna say the High Evolutionary, but the villain of the film, dude, is like that's one of those where like, man, you wish you get more of that from like a villain role, because like it's the whole sequence where I just want to say like his line where it's just like, oh, there is no God, that's why I stepped in. You're like, oh, this dude is insane, but like has so much conviction. And then finally, that final sequence with playing Florence and the Machine, I didn't think was going to be like. It's at first it's like, oh, I hear Florence, it's going to be a little cheesy, but no, it worked, man.
Yep.
It was great. It was wonderful, like cathartic.
James Gunn knows how to do that.
He knows the needle drop. Number 5, I'm going to go also echo a little bit what Danny had put in there. I think isn't the same ranking, but number 6 was the Iron Claw. Dude, Iron Claw, growing up watching pro wrestling, I knew a bit about the Von Erich family and how they adapted the story. Impressive acting, impressive attention to detail from the physicality, but also the emotion behind it. Again, yeah, it's definitely a big roller coaster of emotion, but superb acting, superb writing. Personally, I'm kind of disappointed that the movie got no Oscar love, but it got certainly love and appreciation from me. And I know that may not mean a lot, but personally, as somebody who grew up watching a lot of that stuff and is occasionally still into pro wrestling, it was really well done. The movie was superb.
Nice. Still have to catch it.
And finally, to round out the initial list, again, mentioned before, was Across the Spider-Verse. Just so many little attention to details, superbly written. The animation is incredible, blending in of so many different styles. You got to give a shout out to the Lego sequence that was done by this young man that now been kind of like was co-opted and asked to make that whole scene for the film. The whole bit of like, thank you, Peter, you're one of our best. It still gets me every time.
And the sound effects of beep boop boop.
Beep, boop, boop. Yeah, the little bits of Rio Morales speaking to Miles, like when she's snapping and you get the little Puerto Rican flag. That perfect little details.
And they got the flag right?
Yeah, not like the game.
Not like
they
in the
had
game.
What else? And lastly, like we talk about how there are shots or like that are animated in the film that you could just create like a wonderful wallpaper out of. That one shot of Miles and Gwen hanging upside down, and then you see the reflection of the city, and then the city over it. Like, I want that painted out, like, and put in a like grand hall in my house or something. Like, I don't even have room for it, but I don't care. I'll knock down stuff and make a wall. Movie's incredible. We talked about the score, the soundtrack. I think also Oscar snub for Best Original Score.
Yeah, I thought it would be there.
But whatever. I think Part 3 will get the nomination again.
Wait, can a sequel get nominated for original score?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's
Does that work?
because it's a whole different score.
And a sequel. Can Return of the King get nominated for Best Original Score like Two Towers did?
Oh, it did. Oh, okay. I didn't
Yeah,
know.
there's different songs on there.
Sorry, I turned it to
Well, because I figured
It's
that
not like they do the same
they would
Yeah,
reuse
score.
themes, of course.
There's
but-
some themes that are reused, but it's a
Yeah.
whole new score for the
No, yeah, absolutely. I would never think because of like a lot of movies, their sequels tend to reuse certain themes and stuff. So I always figure like, okay, that doesn't make it technically like
Also-
it can't qualify.
Also, Zach, remember, nominated this year is Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. So,
Or
agree.
music
Yeah.
score.
Best Original Score. And it used themes from Last Crusade, obviously the Raiders March, and a couple other nice things in there too. But going back to my list, yeah, that's 10 through 4 for me. It was really hard to rank those, but those are based off of my experiences in the theater, just thoroughly enjoying the experience of watching those films.
Very nice.
With that, I'm going to pass it over to Anthony before we hit our quick honorable mentions.
All right. So, hold on. Oh my god, I gotta crack my back because I'm the oldest one here. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Yeah, this was difficult. I actually did rank mine. But, yeah, I mean, we all said, like, we all enjoyed these movies. So it's not like, oh, this one sucked and this one's better because it's, like, number 4 and that one's number 6. It's like, we all enjoyed
They're all
these
great.
movies. There's a reason why, like, we all were told to make, like, a top 5 list at first, and then we're like, no, let's make a top 10. I have 22 on my list out of nowhere. Like, so, but, you know, here's my top 10. So I know a lot of us have some of the same movies, but I have some different ones. So number 10, I recently watched this movie. I was surprised by it. It was very good, and now I know why it's gotten some Oscar attention. The Holdovers.
Nice, I made it into the list.
Yeah, it's currently on Peacock if you want to watch it, and they're going to be re-releasing in theaters if you want to watch it. It's a very good movie. It's a nice, like, drama movie. It's not, like, super violent. It's like
It's not John
crazy.
Wick.
Yeah, it's not John Wick, but it's like it's not an action movie. It's
It's
just
not
like
a spectacle.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like a straight drama movie, but like a fun movie to watch. And it was good. It was very well made. It was good. The acting's great. That's why you're seeing a lot of the actor categories. The actors are from this movie.
Yeah, actor and actress, I think, got nominated.
It almost
Supporting
seems like
actress.
the supporting actress is like a lock to win it, and she did a fantastic job in this movie. Paul Giamatti was great as usual. Like, he's killing it, and some people think he's actually competition to Cillian Murphy for Best Actor. So you never know, man. I mean, obviously I would prefer Cillian Murphy, but Paul Giamatti was great. It's a good movie, and I feel like it's a movie that would have been made 20 years ago. Like, they don't make many movies like this anymore. Kind of just like a low key, low budget movie that, like, probably not many people would go see in theaters, but it's a very good movie, and I was very surprised by it. I enjoyed it, so it's my number 10. My number 9. Here's another one where I really enjoyed this movie. It came out very early in the year, and probably a lot of people forgot it even came out in 2023. It definitely seemed like it got looked over for Oscars. I'm gonna go with Air.
That's right. I had that on my long list that I had to trim down, but Air's extremely good.
Air.
It's on Prime.
Yeah,
I
it is on
believe-
Prime.
Yes,
Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah. Air, very good movie. Ben Affleck directed. You have Ben Affleck and Matt Damon coming back. Just a solid movie. Cool story. It's a true story about essentially the guy from Nike who realized that Michael Jordan was going to be Michael Jordan before he was the best basketball player. But yeah, it's very fun. Writing was great. Acting was great.
Dude, the infighting between the Adidas people was hilarious.
Yeah, it was hilarious. But yeah, like, and there's like a lot of notable names in this movie. Like, Jason Bateman is great in this movie. Chris
Chris
Tucker,
Tucker.
like, out of nowhere, is good in this movie. Marlon Wayans is in like 1 or 2 scenes, and he was good in the movie.
You know who's really good, and I've seen him in a whole bunch of other a whole bunch of other little, like, kind of films here and there, and even like TV shows.
Chris Messina, he was good. He was
No, Chris Messina is the agent.
yeah,
Michael
yeah.
Jordan's agent. No, but the dude I'm thinking of is Matthew Mayer, the guy who actually designs the shoe.
Okay.
Matthew Mayer, he does a lot of, like, stuff that he hangs out with, like, Ben Affleck with. I guess he's like
And
boys.
Michael Jordan's mother, like,
Viola Davis.
Viola Davis is too good in this movie. I'm actually surprised she wasn't, like, nominated for supporting.
Who was it? Did you remember that story? I don't know if it was Michael Jordan or Michael Jordan's mom that they had asked who would they want to play her.
Mhm.
And I think Michael Jordan might have said, "Oh, I want Viola Davis." And I guess they told Viola Davis, and she's like, "Yeah, I'll do it."
Yeah, of course, and they got it. But yeah, very good movie.
I think he was concerned, but yeah.
Highly recommend it. It's on streaming now. Go watch it. All right, my number 8. This one, it was I really enjoyed this movie. I was having trouble placing it because, like, even though it was a very good movie, some other factors may have like went into where I put on my list. So I'm gonna say Killers of the Flower Moon.
Mm.
Very, very good movie. Very well made. Scorsese, classic Scorsese movie. Like it's gonna be top notch.
And it's
Leonardo,
gonna be like 3 hours long. Too.
it's 3.5 hours. It's insane. Like that's the thing.
Hours
Like
and 27 minutes. Yep.
I really like the movie, but I just don't know how. Like I don't know how often you'd rewatch this movie. Like it might be one of those like one and dones unless you want to like really go back and rewatch it to like study it as like a filmmaker or something. But yeah, it's really long, and it's also tough subject material because there's a lot of killings that happen in the movie, and it happens frequently throughout the movie, and it's just like
Yeah.
constant.
Yeah, it happened in real life. Like I
Yeah,
don't know how
yeah.
else, like you have to be able to tell that kind of story. With
No,
just,
I know.
Like, that kind of big shout out also to Lily Gladstone.
Yes.
I'm gonna say the hot take that she like outacted De Niro and
Yeah, she was
DiCaprio. Like she
great.
carried that movie. Like
She
hard
was great,
carry.
and it's a little. She's going up for best actress, right? Not supporting.
No, best actor.
Yeah,
Okay,
best
yeah.
actress.
Pretty good, yeah. Because she was aside from them two, she was like the third main character, maybe even the second main character. It was like Leo, her, and then Robert De Niro, and they're the three main actors in the movie. So yeah, very good movie, very well acted, just very long. So like if you can stomach it, I definitely recommend it. It's out now on streaming on Apple. If you want to go watch it, it's very good, but just know those things in advance. If that's not your cup of tea to watch a period drama about, a lot of killings of indigenous of
The Osage
I'm
tribe,
sorry.
yeah,
Yeah,
indigenous
dude, I'm
people.
so sorry of the Osage tribe, but yeah, and if you can stomach a 3.5 hour time, then yeah, go ahead, watch it. It's very good. But yeah, my number 8, number 7. I think we all had it on our list at some point. The Mario movie. Loved
Go.
it. Loved this movie. Exactly what I wanted from this movie. It was what it should have been back in the early '90s instead of that live action movie that we got. But yeah,
Anthony, just trust the fungus.
no, I can't. But yeah, this is very good. Extremely, extremely nostalgic. Like I grew up on this stuff, on playing Mario games and hearing the music, seeing the characters like they're supposed to look like, and it's just like beautiful, beautiful animation. How about that water, Zach?
Dude,
The water,
amazing.
the water in that movie is crazy.
Crisp.
The water was water.
I know.
Water under Rainbow Road. No, I'm kidding. Yeah.
But yeah, like we all talked about it already. We did an episode about it, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we did an
absolutely
episode on
I'm gonna repeat it again because we keep saying it. Like, why would you put "Take on Me" during the driving sequence through the Donkey
That
Kong
was a
area?
good idea.
Through the
There,
Donkey
there
Kong
were
area.
3 movies that came out in a span of like 2
2
or 3
months.
months with that freaking song.
With "Take on Me."
And
I'm not,
it's-
I'm not,
Oh,
I'm not talking about
oh,
the hero.
no.
I'm not talking about
Never
the hero.
mind.
Yeah, hold it
Never
up for hero.
mind.
I'm talking about the sequence where they're driving
Into
to the
with
Donkey
Donkey
Kong
Kong.
area.
through
Yeah.
Kong,
and for some
Kong- the
reason they're
Kong
like, you know what?
Kingdom.
This would be a great spot to play "Take on Me" for no reason.
Yeah,
not
that was
the
a weird
Donkey
spot.
Kong
And
country
and,
music.
and the
from
worst part
games.
is they actually had music from the score of Donkey Kong in that section of the movie, but not in the U.S. version because they decided to play "Take on Me." So it's like, come on, man! You have to watch the movie in another language to hear the actual music of that scene.
I'll watch it in Spanish.
Exactly. Just
Yeah.
watch it in Japanese or something. But yeah, other than that, everything in that movie is great. It's it's meant for kids, so it's like the story is like a little kiddie, but it's for me it was super fun. I felt like I was like a 6-year-old watching this movie, and if this came out when I was 6, it would be like my favorite movie of all time. So yeah, it's super fun. Highly recommend it. My number 6, another movie I also recently watched. Another movie I was very surprised. Not surprised. I mean, it was getting a lot of good buzz, good Oscar buzz, and I wanted to see it. American Fiction. Very good movie. It's this is another type of movie, kind of like the holdovers, where they don't make these that often anymore. Where it's rated R, but it's rated R for like language, so it's like nothing bad in it. But it's just like it's a very smart comedy. It's a satire. It's kind of like almost like the producers in a way, where it's like
Nice.
this guy is a
Okay.
novelist. He's African American, and he sees that there's like new up and comers in his industry, like getting all this praise for making these kind of like quote unquote like ghetto books and being like super real. And so he's like, man, people are like writing the dumbest things and they're getting like all this credit for it. So he decides to write his own like too real like ghetto book, and it becomes like super big, and like he doesn't understand as to like why it's like as big as it is. But yeah, it's very funny. It reminds me a lot of also like As Good as It Gets, with like it's like it's smart humor. Acting is great. Jeffrey Wright definitely should be in the running, as he is in the best actor category. And even
Right.
Sterling K. Brown, he got nominated, and good for him because he was great in the movie too. So yeah, highly recommend it. That's another one that's is still in theaters because it didn't really release nationally till like maybe like 2 weeks ago. So it still has a lot of showings that you can go to the movies and watch. So my number five, which this one might be maybe on your some of your guys' top, but it's my number five because I didn't know where to put it, but I knew my top couple. So got to put it at number five, Godzilla minus one.
Yep.
Godzilla minus one, another surprise. Like for me, I'm gonna go see a movie just because it's Godzilla. Like if there's a big monster in it, I'm gonna go see it. Like I love Pacific Rim, I love kaiju movies, I love robot movies, so I'll watch Transformers, even though the majority of the Transformers movies are stupid. I watched that stuff when I was a kid, so it's like if there's big robots in it or big creatures, I'm gonna watch it. And you're telling me there's another Japanese Godzilla movie? I was excited to watch it, and I don't care about reading subtitles because I'm used to reading them from anime. It was a great movie. The story is actually really good. In most of these movies, like the most recent American Godzilla movies, it's me most of the time going, I just want to watch Godzilla beat the crap out of something, instead of listening to whatever human characters like, oh, we gotta go and help Godzilla, or whatever they're saying, oh, we gotta run away. And like most of the time, you don't really care about what's happening with these human characters, and they usually have bad dialogue and stupid stuff to say anyway. But in this one, the majority of the movie is about the human characters, and it's very well written. You care about the main characters, you care about what's going on, and they treat Godzilla like a natural disaster. And it's like, and they treat him like this terrifying thing that's happening, and it's awesome. And I still don't know if it's true, but they keep saying that this movie was made for $15 million. I don't believe it.
Dude, there's no way. Like,
Yeah.
it's
I don't
like
believe
at
it.
least 30.
Yeah,
How?
like yeah, I know it's not like $100 million movie, but like 15 million seems like impossible. Maybe I'd say like 30 to 50, but even still, so even if they spent 50 million, it still looks great for 50 million. But yeah, the CGI specifically, like on Godzilla, and then like even like all the parts in the water, and then the destruction, like it looks awesome for this. Like technically, it's like a low budget Japanese movie. Oh, and Godzilla's in it. That's what this movie is. It's just a very well made movie, very good story, and Godzilla's in it being scary as hell. Highly recommend
Yeah.
it. Don't be afraid that you have to read subtitles. It's a really good movie. So go watch it.
Absolutely. Good
Number
pick.
4, John Wick 4, baby.
Ooh, 4 for 4.
John Wick 4,
Go for it.
baby. This one was tough because I almost ranked it like really high on my list, but then I was like, oh, but these other three, like it's so hard. But John Wick 4, I don't know how they keep doing it. For me, it's the best one. They each one keeps getting better with every movie. Like I don't understand how they keep doing it. I don't know how they can make a 5 if they do make a 5. I don't know what they're gonna do. Like make a 5-hour movie and see how much they can do in 5 hours. I don't know what they're gonna do. But yeah,
More falling down the stairs.
this movie was insane. Like they literally made multiple 30-minute action sequences, which is why the movie's so long. But it's like I know there's a lot of time when people talk about action movies, they usually say, "Oh, but you can't have action all the time because then the viewer will get bored of all the action. You need to have stuff in between." It's like, I think this movie proved to all those people that say that, it's like, there was stuff in between the action, because there would be a 30-minute action sequence and then like maybe 20 or 30 minutes of the next scene, like going to
And
what's
setup.
gonna- yeah, it's all set up for what they're gonna do next for the next 30-minute action scene, and they do it like 3 or 4 times. Like this movie's crazy, and the freaking stunts in this movie is incredible. These people are on crack. I don't know how they made this movie.
It's on crack.
Yeah, like it's by far like the best American action series right now. Like most of the time when you're thinking like good action movies with like good fight choreography and good action, a lot of the time back in the day you would have to go to like Jackie Chan movies, either Chinese or Japanese movies, and now we're getting them here. And we're getting American made, very well done action movies, and these guys right now, they're at the top of their game. So I know he even said Stileski was like, "Hey, I want to try to make a Star Wars movie." It's like, well, hire this man, get this man to do something in Star Wars. I don't care what it is. But yeah, this movie is incredible. John Wick 4 is awesome. I think I watched it like 4 times or something like that, 5 times. I watched it in multiple different formats with other like different people each time. I was like, you gotta watch this. I'll watch it again. I was like, get the A-list. That's what A-list is for. But yeah, John Wick 4 is super fun. We all enjoyed it. And that's it. Those are my 7.
Damn, Skippy. All right. Nicely done. So, good comprehensive big chunk of list. We're going to quickly round up the honorable mentions. We'll just do a quick like rapid fire, starting with Zach. 3 honorable mentions. Hit us.
Ooh, okay. My 3. It was tough at first, but I think I have a pretty like solid top 3 honorable mentions. First one being Ferrari. That was one of the more recent ones that just came out, and kind of like with Gran Turismo, a car movie. Really liked it. A couple of weird parts, but still really good drama. The next one I chose Barbie. Enjoyable. I don't think it was like it was a good movie. It wasn't too whatever, but you know, I still enjoyed it. Ryan Gosling, best part of the movie. And then Cocaine Bear. That
was last year.
That one was a lot better.
Oh my
than I
god, that was
expected.
last year.
Nice.
Number 23.
That was a lot better.
Number
It came out
23.
in January.
Yeah,
The
man.
movie was a lot better than expected.
That was such a
and
trip. Cocaine Bear was a
and-
trip.
That I
It
did
was-
not
it-
expect.
It was a lot of fun.
Nice.
It was a lot of fun. Definitely a wacky, like absurd movie, but not. It wasn't a bad movie. It was pretty fun. It was enjoyable. It was just crazy, but it deserved to be an honorable mention.
Okay, nice. All right, Danny, your honorable mentions.
All right, Barbie.
Okay.
It was a lot better than I expected. Very funny.
Dude, there's that movie's helped.
Is it because I did a thumbs up? Is that why it's doing that? No, I don't know.
Yes, hold on, let me try.
So very funny, a lot better than I expected. Good story. Next up is Tetris. I think it was Zach that mentioned it on his list.
Yeah.
Pick another one.
What?
Pick another one.
That's on
since that one's
that's
already
on
mentioned.
Zach's top 10.
Oh, okay. Dungeons and Dragons.
Nice.
Wait, was that last
Yeah.
year?
Yeah.
That was last year?
Oh my god! For some
Yeah.
reason, I thought that was 2 years ago.
No,
No.
it was last year.
Damn, okay.
Last year.
Didn't it come out like summer or like
It was like
almost autumn?
maybe March or summer. Somewhere
Oh,
around
was
there.
it earlier? Oh
Yeah.
wow.
No, it was in March.
Man, that movie was a lot of fun. And it actually got reviewed pretty good. But
Make
just
them like
not that
fun.
many people saw it.
I know, it sucks.
And then the third one, since we skipped my second one, we'll do Wonka. I just saw
I
it.
respect it.
Just saw it the other day and gave me some Paddington vibes. And just a feel good, funny experience. So.
Same director.
Same director.
Same
A lot of
director.
people. A lot of surprise there. All right, nice. My turn. I'm going to try to make this super quick. Number 1, I actually have the pin for it. I don't know if you guys can see it. Haunted Mansion.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
Way better than I thought it was
Oh,
going to
I
where?
forgot about that movie.
be. Yeah, Haunted Mansion. Really fun movie.
At this rate, we
Great
need like a
cast.
top 30.
Yeah, it's surprisingly good year for movies. But yeah, Haunted Mansion, too good. Came out during the writer's strikes. There wasn't a lot of buzz for it, but it's on Disney Plus. Go watch it. Number 2. Actually, no. Number 2, I'm gonna do Next Goal Wins. A little smaller movie by Taika Waititi.
Oh, yeah, the soccer one, right?
Look, if you have a training montage with Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears, you're automatically a good movie. The movie was actually a lot of fun, too. And based on a true story. There's even a documentary about the whole story as well.
Is it Sam Neill is in it?
No, it's Fassbender.
No,
Michael Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender. Yes, that's what it was.
Fassbender's there. So number 3,
Totally different.
number 3, I had to put it on here, Creed 3. I had honorable mention because Michael B.
I
Jordan's
forgot that movie
first
came out.
directing. It's his first time directing a movie. I really got some great, like, Hajime no Ippo, like, Dragon Ball, like, anime vibes between him and Jonathan Majors. Again, story. You kind of know where it's going, but it's still told really well acted, and really interesting choices with some of the fight sequences, but they really work. It pays off. It's a fun movie. Really great stuff. Anthony.
Cool. Okay, so a couple of them I had on my long list that you guys already mentioned. So super quickly, I also had Gran Turismo, The Creator, Barbie, Creed 3, Mission Impossible, and Thanksgiving on my list. So I'm going to name other ones. So I guess number 1 for me would be Dumb Money.
Nice.
Yeah, cool movie. It was fun, entertaining, but it was barely in theaters and not many people watched
It's on
it.
Netflix now, right?
I have no idea. Next
Yeah.
would be Poor Things. Poor Things was also very good. It's getting a lot of acclaim in the Oscars. Emma Stone might win her second Oscar for it. She was very good in it, but overall I thought the movie was okay. And, also you said Ninja Turtles already, so I'm going to say Postcard from Earth, the movie I saw in the freaking Sphere in Las Vegas.
There you go.
Now that's an experience.
Yeah, so if
Okay.
you're ever in Las
Really?
Vegas, definitely go and check that out if that movie is still playing there. It's really awesome.
Nice. All right, with that, we're going to hit it with the top 3. I think we'll be sharing a lot of top 3 films here. Zach, go ahead and lead it off. Give us a quick 1, 2, 3, or 3, 2, 1.
All right, number 3, Mutant Mayhem.
Nice.
My man. Hell yeah.
I have never seen a single TMNT thing, movie, show. I'd never read a comic.
What?
Nothing.
Ladies
This
and
was like
gentlemen,
my first.
He's a newbie.
we got him. We got him, Anthony. Now we got to get him playing Turtles in Time.
This was my first like actual watch through of a TMNT movie or of anything. I enjoyed it so much. Animation, super charming, super well done. The character is super lovable. It was done really well. Absolutely deserves to be in my top 3.
You don't know about
Nice.
Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go?
No, he doesn't know about Vanilla Ice.
Oh, shit.
He knows about getting mollywop, though. That's what's up. It's mollywopping
And I
me.
know that you had
Okay.
mentioned that in your top 10 part.
Yeah, that was in my top
X.
10.
Yeah.
Which
Yep.
I was surprised that you didn't put in your top 3.
Definitely.
In your top 3.
When you hear my top 3, you're going to understand.
Definitely an honorable mention for me.
Yeah.
Damn, wow.
Very good.
Surprise. Number 2, another anime movie. I think we all already know what it is. Spider-Verse.
There you go.
Easily one of the best movies of last year, without a doubt. I mean,
Agree.
it's the kind of Marvel movie that you want every Marvel movie to be. Not necessarily like oh, it has to be animated, it has to be the same director, same artist, or whatever. But something that's just written so well, complemented by the animation. It's such a gorgeous movie, and it's funny. It's got so many Spider-Man references that are just mentioned briefly in passing and everything. Some cameos, crossovers. It's such a really well done movie. I cannot wait for part 2, which will come out who knows when. Not this year, not anymore.
It's probably like 4 years now.
Dude, honestly,
Why?
Whatever, man. They
I'm gonna
could
have to wait
take
until like
they could take 10
like 3
years.
years.
If it's as good as the other two, then they'll have
I'm
like
fine.
one of the best trilogies ever made.
yeah, and they better use this time to do it right.
Yep.
And
All
then
right.
number 1, I think I mean, I kind of alluded to it a lot. You know, I saw it 3 times in true IMAX.
Not Danny's number
Oppenheimer.
one. Not Danny's number
Not Danny's number 1.
This is number 5.
Oppenheimer. We have a whole episode dedicated to
5.
Oppenheimer. So if you want to know our real in-depth thoughts on Oppenheimer, go back and give us a rewatch. Pump those numbers up, but also get some valuable insight.
Those are
Very
rookie
cool.
Yeah, Oppenheimer. Yeah, definitely one of Nolan's best movies in my opinion. I think his first non-science fiction or
Science fact.
gimmicky movie.
Science fact.
It's huh?
He says a science fact movie.
Not science fiction.
Yeah, because it's either been superhero or it has some sort of gimmick or some kind of time thing or whatever. Oppenheimer is like a biopic. That's what it is. So, I think his only movie like that. So very, very.
But it
awesome.
has a gimmick.
Okay, yeah, Dunkirk.
But it has a gimmick.
Wow,
It does have a gimmick, though.
Wow, I forgot about Dunkirk. But yes,
Good for you.
one of 2 movies.
Also
One of-
gimmick and not a biopic. But yeah,
One
nice,
of
Zach.
2 movies.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. Good.
Really
Good.
well done.
Good job, Zach. Not saying I'm qualifying your things, but thank you for sharing, man. That's good. Danny, I want to hear, because this is going to be interesting.
Oof.
See how wrong you are.
Oof.
That's gonna. I know.
All right. Number 3. The Creator.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't expect for that to be that high.
Wow.
I really enjoyed this movie, and I think it surprised me too, as much as it surprised
Doesn't
you guys.
surprise me.
We get Gareth Edwards on the line.
Yeah.
Top 3 movies of.
I want to watch it
2023.
again because I was really sick the day that we saw it. That's when I started my whole 2-month sickness. So I gotta rewatch it. Yeah.
With the sickness.
Man, it was shot really good. Just some cool concepts and cool additions to the story. But yeah, number 3.
Currently on Hulu.
It is on Hulu, correct.
And then my top 2, all day today, I've been going back and forth. I think X already knows my top 2. But number 2, surprise, is Talk to Me.
Yep, that's why I'm doing the hand thing.
Talk to Me
over Oppenheimer.
Yeah, I'm a horror fan. I think I've mentioned this movie every podcast episode.
For the year.
Yeah, for the year. Go watch it. A lot of fun. Cool new story. Kind of felt like an original. Created by YouTubers that are known for some cool action.
Nice.
But yeah, I love it. One of my favorite horror movies.
They already got a sequel going.
Yep. Talk to Me.
I saw that poster. I forgot about it.
And then number 1, Godzilla -1.
Damn.
Too good.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
Yeah.
Just, man, what a great movie. And
I thought I had the highest rank for
Yeah.
-1.
no,
Holy
that's
crap.
my number 1. And then
I haven't seen
No,
it, but
it's your
I'll
number
allow
1
it.
or it's
I'll
your
allow it.
-1?
It's his -1.
and
So what's your
just
real
like
number
Anthony,
1?
just like Anthony said, you go to see this movie just because of Godzilla, but man, the human stories in this one was top notch. You care for the characters, and Godzilla is just terrifying here, as he should be. So there you go.
Wow.
Top
Thank
3.
you, Danny.
Yep.
Danny stealing a little bit of my Atomic Thunder here.
The sound effect, man. That wah, wah,
Dude.
wah, 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 wah. I don't know how to do it, but it's so cool.
And the visuals.
So,
Yeah.
man, I feel like the wind's out of my sails a little bit, but I'll start with my number 3 is actually John Wick 4. What a magnum opus of action
It's so good.
storytelling.
Good.
We've
The fact
all
that-
had it.
The fact that you have the audacity to put Scott Adkins in a fat suit and still make him be able to fight incredibly is insane. And it still freaking works. Amongst all the other, the gunplay and the action, the whole opening Osaka sequence is just incredible. All the fighting in Paris, I didn't think they could do that, but they did everything that I thought they did. And they made
The
a very
Hotline Miami
compelling-
scene,
They also made a compelling villain with Skarsgård. That was actually surprisingly great. You know, also shout out to Lance Reddick, rest in peace. You know, he was incredible in it. E. McShane, everybody just played their parts extremely well. I forget the dude who played the tracker, but he was even awesome. Just Donnie Yen, man, like this movie's too good. Like I can go on and on. But John Wick 4, you know, Chapter 4, the magnum opus of action.
So good.
Number one, like Zach, I have to give it to Oppenheimer because in terms of like
What's your number two?
Wait, number two.
No, but I'm getting out of the way. Number one is Oppenheimer, but number two was Danny's number one, which is Godzilla -1. That's why I can't give it number one.
You subtracted.
So then
Subtracted.
it's zero.
It's 0? No. So yeah, getting out of the way, we talked so much about Oppenheimer. That's number one, but number two, I have to just say words about -1. Like, I try not to spoil anything because Zach still hasn't seen it yet, but Godzilla -1 is easily like one of the. It's in my top 3 of like just best movies made that came out in general. Like, I know Japan put another movie out for their best international release, but they honestly should have put -1. Just there's so much emotion in the film. We talk about Godzilla. He's straight up a walking cataclysm. It's the whole atomic breath is a straight up like it's scary. It's horrifying. It's an actual cataclysmic world breaking event. But the characters have the conviction and the themes about, you know, finding things to live for and having something meaningful with your life and not throwing it away are incredible. The music has so many homages to various Godzilla films. They kept the original Toho themes. There's this climactic sequence when they play the kind of like one of the main Godzilla themes, and like I got transported back to when I was like 9 years old watching old Godzilla films. Like I was like cheering the heroes, you know, our protagonists on, and like half crying while watching this movie because it was so like incredibly nostalgic, but done in like a great way, but still gripping and really really enthralling and captured my complete attention. That movie is just it just really sticks with me still. And now that they're doing that release for -1 color, I'm gonna do everything in my power to go watch it. That is my top 3. So Anthony, close it out.
All right, now number 3, Guardians 3.
Nice.
Loved it. It was by far the best superhero movie this year, by far.
Above Spider-Verse?
Live action then.
Got him.
Well, I like how you put John Wick 4 as number 4 and then Guardians 3 as
3.
number 3.
Exactly.
So Spider-Verse is 2.
You don't know? But yeah, Guardians 3, fantastic. I loved it. I've liked all the Guardians movies. Number 1, super special movie to me. Number 1 is still like one of my maybe top 5, definitely a top 10 MCU movies. This one's up there. I liked part 3 better than 2. Yeah, this movie was really good. Super emotional, just like we mentioned. Like, yeah, it was tough. Some of the flashback scenes because it's like animal cruelty, but it worked somehow. It worked with the story, and yeah, it was very, very good. And that freaking 2 movies in my top 10 list with freaking Beastie Boys songs in it, the same Beastie Boys song. But yeah, that whole one shot sequence in Guardians 3, awesome.
That one shot is one of the best in the Guardians.
Yeah.
Oh,
One of the best in just like the MCU in general. Like James Gunn is like
that hallway sequence, yeah.
James Gunn was like, oh, my last MCU movie, let me go all out, and yeah, he hit it out of the park. Great movie, loved it. Number 2, Spider-Verse. Had to be Spider-Verse. It was very hard. It was almost going to be my number 1, but yeah, I love Spider-Verse. We all talked about it a lot already. I think I saw this movie like almost like Top Gun amount of times in the theaters. It's like 5 or 6 times. Like this movie is so good. This is another movie. It's like it's not a short movie. It's like 2 hours and a half, 2 hours and 20 minutes. Each time I've seen it, I don't feel the runtime at all. Like it moves so like in such a fast paced, and like you enjoy everything that's going on, and you're just so like what's the word, like not enamored, but you're just so like entranced by like what you're watching. It's like the whole movie is just like hitting your senses. It's like all the auditory senses, the visual, Like, there's so many things that are just like smacking you for 2 hours in the face.
It's too good.
Yeah, it's awesome. The music is great, animation, the art, the voice
It's
acting.
not overloading too. Like it's
No.
not like, oh my, I can't process too much. It's just like you're treated with
Yeah.
so much goodness.
The voice acting is great, and the story is awesome. And then it sucks. Yeah, it's a cliffhanger, but like such a well done, well made cliffhanger. Like I still felt like I got a complete movie, like a 99% of a movie just with a cliffhanger. But yeah, it's so good. One of my favorite movies this year, and Oppenheimer is number one. Like Zach, I watched it I think twice in Fort Lauderdale, and I saw it in like all the formats. I saw it in Limax, I saw it in Dolby, I saw it in regular because I wanted to see the different versions of like if you could really tell a difference, and you can't. Like the visual clarity of the 70 millimeter in Fort Lauderdale is much different than obviously the regular screen, and it is different than Limax too. So, and that's just the
Wait,
visuals.
so how many times did you watch it?
I think I watched it like
Yes.
1,
Did you
2,
watch
3,
it?
4.
Yes.
I think I watched it 4, maybe 5 times total.
Oppenheimer, you'd have to watch it at least 5 times because he and I saw it in real IMAX twice. I saw it in Dolby again, and then he went and saw it in the other.
I saw it in Dolby, Limax, and I think I saw it also in just regular 2D screen.
Like digital.
Yeah, regular digital. Yeah.
Normie.
And then twice in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
Normie movie.
Fantastic movie. I think it's going to win best movie. I think it's the best movie of the year. Nolan, once again, does his Nolan thing. Like, hit it out of the park. Amazing movie. He somehow weaves the story in, and like, it's very fast paced with its editing, but somehow like you still can follow what's going on, even though the beginning might be a little confusing. But like, once you're in it, after like 10 minutes, you kind of understand what's going on, and it just takes you into it. And it's a freaking 3-hour ride. And it's not an action movie. There's no action going on, but it's just like suspenseful thriller and super dramatic biopic movie about a real life person.
And you can definitely hear them.
Yes.
That's
So,
4.
Freaking, I'm pretty sure Ludwig is gonna win. It's-
Like, it's too good. It's too
Uh-oh, I
dang
don't
good.
know what happened there, but yeah.
Yeah.
Had to be
Thank-
my number one. Oppenheimer is so good.
Very cool. Yeah. All right, Anthony. Thank you for sharing. I like that. We had a good variety of our lists. Again, MVP goes to Danny for giving -1 his top film of 2023. Like, I wouldn't expect Danny to like something like this. Like,
Whoa.
it's so good. Like, I mean, I'm so glad you liked it, and also I'm so glad that Zach really enjoyed Ninja Turtles. I'm like, there's hope for this generation yet.
Hey, I'm cultured. All right, I might be Gen Z, but I'm cultured.
Anthony, we gotta get these guys to play Turtles in Time.
Prehistoric pterosaurs.
Gotta
Big
get 'em
Apple.
out.
Big Apple.
3 a.m. We gotta close it out before we get to 3 a.m. So, with that being said, everybody, this is our big rundown of 2023. A surprisingly great year for movies and cinema, if you want to get really fancy
Very,
about it.
very wide variety of movies.
Yeah,
so-
something for everybody. And if you even like trash, you can watch Fast 10.
Damn.
Or
Well, I was gonna
Meg
say
2.
Or Meg 2. You have to wash it out with something good, like Gran Turismo. So we go from one to the other. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, if you loved the format of the remote session, we're going to be doing more of these. We'd love your feedback. And again, if you catch this on YouTube, please like and subscribe. We're also on your podcast platform of choice. And we're also on the socials through X, Instagram, and Threads. But before we go, we're going to get a little sneak preview of next episode. So we're going through our movie recommendations again. This time it's going to Anthony. What do you got, man? What are you going to give it to us?
Well, last time when we were talking about action movies and these guys, these youngins, haven't watched that many action movies, so I gotta go to my boy Jackie Chan. And I want you guys to watch Legend of Drunken Master.
I knew he was going to say that. It was like that, or I'm like, are we watching Police Story again? He's like, nah, it's Legend of Drunken Master. That is an incredible movie.
Write it down, and then we'll see you next week.
Alrighty, folks.
All right.
You heard it. Next episode, Legend of Drunken Master. Get your Hong Kong Shaw Brothers style kung fu movies going. It's going to be so exciting. We can't wait to talk about that one, and I can't wait to see Danny and Zach's reaction to this incredible showcase of Jackie Chan doing Jackie Chan things. With that, everybody, thank you so much again for tuning in. We will catch you next time, so keep that popcorn warm.